students, welcome back to a new video session. Today's session we are not doing anything new. We will have a discussion on syllabus of unit 2 examination. So you know that you have two chapters in unit 3 examination. So that is chapter 2 and chapter 3. Chapter 2 is about elements of a map and chapter 3 is all about the major landform of the earth. So in through video session we have covered this both chapters through video sessions. Today we will have a quick revision on chapter 2, that is element of a map. Okay. So we will see what are the major points we need to prepare from elements of a map from this chapter. Okay. So first we are starting with chapter 2. First point is about the element of a map. So while we are reading a topo map, we will get 5 important elements. So these elements, the name of the elements are map title, then we will get north line, then we will get scale, legend or keys, after that grid system. So now we will see each of them with details. With more detail we will see each of them. First one is map title. So now what is a map title? Map title is about the content of a map. So we all know that every map is giving us some information. This information could be based on anything. So the name, the map from the map title, that is at the top of the map, always given in any map. From that we can understand the content of the map. One example is given in your text, that is political India. Okay, now so from that name we can understand that the map is giving political information, political boundary. It could be national boundary, it could be international boundary, neighbor countries, states of India. All these information we can get from political India. Okay, so we are done with map title, right? So next is about the north line. Okay, now what is a north line? We all know the symbol of north line, right? Now what's the utility of north line in a topo map? So through north line we can detect any direction in a map, right? So map direction is also important. Suppose in your topo map there are 2 points are given. Okay, x and y, 2 points are given. So how, if the question is asked, suppose find out the direction of x in respect to y, then how you will find out or measure the direction? You need to put a north line on y. After that you will join x and y by using a ruler. Then you will get the answer of the location of the x in respect to y. So this example also given in your text. I just elaborate one example of measuring direction between 2 points. It's given in page number 18. You all can see that. Now we will move toward the map direction. So in map direction, north line is always important point. We need to know the symbol of north line. Okay. In map direction, one important term is that cardinal direction. Now we all know what is the cardinal direction in map. There are 4 major directions are there, that is north, then south, then west, then east. So these are the direction that is we considered as cardinal direction. Okay. So there are a diagram of cardinal direction also given. That diagram you also need to prepare. Suppose a question is asked, what is the cardinal direction? Then you will write your answer that the 4 major direction, north, south, east, west, all these we named as cardinal direction. After that, if you add the diagram, then your answer will be more concrete. You will get full marks from that question. So that is why I am asking to practice this diagram of cardinal direction, that is in page number 17. Okay. Now some more details in map direction. So there is a term, important term, that is called intermediate direction. Now what is the intermediate direction? So in cardinal direction there are 4 more directions are given, that is we call as intermediate direction. Now giving you some example of intermediate direction. Suppose a place is situated just middle of north and east. Okay. So how you will identify the location of a place? We will identify the location of place as northeast. Okay. In the similar way, if a place is situated between north and south, then we will identify the location of a map as southeast. In the similar way, if the place is situated between west and south direction, then we will identify it as southwest. And in the similar way, if a place is situated between north and west direction, then we will identify the location of that place as northwest. Okay. So these four direction, that means northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. So these four direction we consider as intermediate directions. Now we learned about cardinal direction, intermediate direction. Now there are more details in direction, that is subdivisions. 8 subdivisions. 8 subdivision in direction. So what are them? Suppose a place is situated between north and northeast, then the location we will know as northeast. Okay, suppose a place is situated northeast and east, then we will identify the location as east northeast. So this is how there are 8 more subdivisions are given that you need to prepare from this paragraph. Okay, next is measuring direction. So measuring direction is all about how you will measure a place in a topo map. Suppose 2 points are given, and how you will calculate the direction of these points. So here example of x and y is given. I just discussed about this direction of these 2 places that you will prepare from this. Now we will see map scale. So map scale is also another important element of any map, and this is also an essential part of map. So what is scale? So scale is a ratio between 2 places on the real ground and the same distance between on a piece of paper. Okay, so this is what scale in a map. Now scale of map scale can be divided into 3 broad categories. So these categories are first one is statement or verbal scale, then graphical scale, then representative fraction or RF. Okay, first we will see what is a graphical scale or what is a statement scale or verbal scale. First one we will see statement scale or verbal scale. So statement scale or verbal scale always stated in words. Okay, and yes, that is what from the name verbal or statement scale we can call that it is always shown in state in words. Next one we will discuss, that is graphical or linear scale. So graphical or linear scale are in a straight line. It represents in a straight line, and there are some divisions in the graphical scale. So the small length of division, that is representing the distance on the surface. Okay. So that is all about the graphical or linear scale. So third one we will discuss, that is representative fraction or RF. So in representative fraction there are numerator and denominator is present. So the numerator always represents the distance on the map, and the denominator always present the distance on the ground. Okay, one more important point from this representative fraction that we need to remember, that the unit in numerator and denominator should be same. Like if the unit is centimeter, then we will put centimeter in both. Okay, and another important feature of RF or representative scale is that the distance on the map, that is the numerator part of representative fraction, should be always 1. Okay, like one example of representative fraction we can give as 1 is to 50,000. That means 1 centimeter on the ground is 1 centimeter on the map is showing 50,000 centimeter on the ground. Okay, yes, so that is all about the representative fraction we have covered with this. Now we will see measuring distances. So suppose in a topo map you have to measure distance between 2 places. Okay, So how you will measure distances? There are two techniques are given or written in your book, that is measuring distances by using straight line and also measuring distances along a curved line. So first we will see what is measuring distances along a straight line. So this one is very easy to measure any distance. We can measure distance by using a ruler. Okay. Next is measuring distance along a curved line. So where we use the second method of distance measuring, second method of second method in measuring distance, where we use it in a suppose a curved road, suppose a railway line, suppose a river is flowing. So to take the length of the road, the length of the river, we use this measuring distance along the curved line. That means the second method we use there. Okay. Now for the second point, measuring distance along the curved line, we need to take a twine. Then we will put the twine along the curve of the road or along the curve of the river or flow of the river. Then we will measure the distance with the help of the scale of the map. Okay. Yeah, so that is the two way we can measure distances between two places in a topo map. Second is legend or key. So this is also, and this is the fourth element of a map. So what is legend or key? So legend or keys are the essential part of any topo map. These are given in symbols, signs, and in different colors. And these legend or keys also make a topo map attractive. And these legends and keys, we can call them as a conventional. We use some conventional signs and symbols in a topo map. Now why we call them as a conventional? Because these signs that we use in a topo map, suppose we are showing a natural vegetation. Okay. So natural vegetation has a symbol in topo map. In every topo map you take the same symbol we will get in a for the natural vegetation in a topo map. So this symbol, the symbol of the natural vegetation, is universally accepted by scientists. So that is why we name these symbols or signs as a conventional signs or symbols. You and I cannot make them. So that's the point from here. Okay. Next is color in map. Okay, so I said that some colors are used in map to make, and these also make the map attractive, right? So there are 7 colors are given in your text, that is in page number 20. These colors are blue, green, white, brown, yellow. These colors are given. Suppose you want to show a water body. Okay, so how you will show it water body? If we use color blue, then it is showing water body in a map. It could be a lake, it could be a river, it could be a pond, anything. Okay. So all water bodies or gulf, all water bodies are showing in a topo map by using color blue. We cannot use red or we cannot use color brown instead of using color blue. Okay. In a similar way, green color is always showing used to show natural vegetation. Okay. White color, why we use white color? To show old cold deserts, to show snow covered regions. Yellow color we show areas with desert, hot desert area, we show their yellow color. So these are the colors from the topo map you need to prepare. Okay. And some more details about the symbols and signs I can say. Suppose you are seeing a topo map and in some places written the word PO. Okay. So the word PO, it's clear that the post office is written. Suppose in a place there is written PS. Now what is a PS? PS is a police station. Okay. To learn the map clearly or easily, we need to prepare these conventional signs and symbols. Okay. These conventional signs and symbols we need to prepare. That is from page number 20. Yes. So in this way we will prepare the legend and keys portion from our text. Now students, we will see grid system. So what is a grid system? We will see that is the last important element of map. So what's a grid system? Grid system is a network that is created by horizontal and vertical line. Now, what is horizontal and vertical lines? These are the lines of latitudes and longitudes. So all horizontal lines are showing in a topo map are latitudes and all vertical lines are longitudes. So first we will talk about latitudes. So the longest latitude is the equator, that is situated at 0 degree. The numerical value of equator is 0 degree. Now equator is dividing the world into two hemisphere, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Okay. Now in your text there are some important latitudes are given. So we read about these latitudes in detail. This is just to recapitulate the idea of those important latitudes. Okay, so these are the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, the Arctic Circle, the Antarctic Circle, North Pole and South Pole. So the also the numerical value of each line. Suppose the Tropic of Cancer is 23.5 north, the Tropic of Capricorn 23.5 south, then the Arctic Circle 23.5 north, the Antarctic Circle the Arctic Circle 66.5 north, the Antarctic Circle 66.5 south, then North Pole at 90 degree north, then the South Pole at 90 degree south. So these all important latitudes with their numerical values are important, that you need to remember from this paragraph of grid system. Now we will see longitudes. So what are longitudes? Longitudes are the vertical line that runs from north to pole to pole, that means from north to south. These are the longitudes, right? We learned about them, longitudes. Now in longitudes there are two lines are important. So just we read in latitudes about important lines like equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle. So in a similar way longitudes also have some important lines. So these lines are prime meridian, then international date line. Now we will see what is a prime meridian. So prime meridian in longitudes, there is 0 degree longitudes is situated, that is named as prime meridian. Now this prime meridian also has another name, that is Greenwich meridian. Now why we called prime meridian as Greenwich meridian? Because the prime meridian is crossing over the area of Greenwich near London. So that is why we named prime meridian as Greenwich meridian as well. Okay. And these prime meridian help us to determine time all over the world. Okay. International date line. So one important feature of international date line is that we do not put any east or west in international date line. Okay, so it is denoting both east and west hemisphere. Okay, one point I may miss to tell you that these longitudes is dividing the world into two hemispheres, just the way latitudes are dividing the world into two hemispheres. In the similar way longitudes also helping the world into divide two hemispheres. These are the eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. Okay, so that is it from the grid system. Grid system are just network of horizontal and vertical line, and these horizontal and vertical lines are latitudes and longitudes. Some important feature of latitude and longitude we will prepare from grid system. Now the most important question, why we use grid system? We use grid system to identify location of any map, to identify location of any place with more efficiency. So that is why we use grid system. Okay, so that is all about from this paragraph of grid system. Now next in your book, that is table number 2, latitude and the difference between latitude and longitudes. So from here at least four latitudes and longitudes you need to difference between latitudes and longitudes you need to prepare. I hope this is clear. Now next is heat zone of the earth. So we read about the heat zone of the earth. So the heat zone of the earth can be divided into three important parts. So these are the torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. So what is the torrid zone? Torrid zone is just Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. That means 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south. That is about the torrid zone. Okay, and this is the hottest zone of the world, and seasonal changes we cannot see in torrid zone. Okay, most of the time the temperature is high in torrid zones. Okay. Yes, the difference, there are very little difference between the summer and winter temperature in this zone. So this line is written in your text I just read. Okay. Now next we will see what is the temperate zone. So temperate zone is a zone that is in two hemisphere, in a two part. Okay, so I am talking about the first northern hemisphere. So the topic of it is in the northern hemisphere. It is from Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle. That means 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north. Okay, and in the similar way in the southern hemisphere it is from Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic Circle. So what is the extent? Students, now temperate zones. So temperate zones are the zones that is very comfortable to live because neither the temperature is too hot or too cold in these temperate zones. Why? Because the sun never overheat on this zone. So that is all about the temperate zone. Now next we will see that is frigid zone. So what is a frigid zone? So in two hemisphere, this zone is divided into two parts. So we will first talk about the northern frigid zone. So the area of or extension of northern frigid zone is from Arctic Circle to North Pole. That means 66.5 degree north to 90 degree north, and in the southern hemisphere the extension of frigid zone is Antarctic Circle to South Pole. That means 66.5 to 90 degree, 66.5 degree north south to 90 degree south. So that is the extension of frigid zone in northern hemisphere and in the southern hemisphere. Now some features of frigid zone is that from the name it's clear for us that the area always has high winter. The summer season is very low or very short. You can call the ground in frigid zones always covered with snow, and temperature always remain very below 0 degree. Most of the time it remains 0 degree or below 0 degree. So that is all about the frigid zone. So these were the three division of heat zones of the earth. I hope this point of heat zone of the earth is clear. So students, that is all about the chapter. These are the points that you need to prepare for your unit 3 examination from this chapter. One more important point from this chapter is that there are important terms are given, right? That is in page number 24. So let me read what are these important terms. These are the first written in your text, that is cardinal direction, scale, legend, conventional signs and symbols, then grid system. So these are the important terms that you need to prepare from this chapter. So students, that's all. We have done the revision on this chapter. If you still have any question or any doubts, or if you cannot do any exercise, if you have any questions from the exercise, though we have covered the exercise from this chapter, you can call me. I am there to clear it all. Thank you.